Welcome back. So last time we got the landing pad and the satellite dish up and running, which we can see the trader out there, and we've made a decent start with expanding that app, but I think we're going to do some more of that this time. Before we do though, I'm going to go and make some quick improvements to the trader. So one of the problems with the satellite dish is, well actually it's not to the trader, it's to the satellite dish, but one of the problems with the satellite dish is you have to work through a whole load of junk satellite signals while you're searching for traders, which is kind of frustrating. And so what I've done is I've actually developed a little bit of IC code that I'm going to install today, which will help us to remember which signals are traders and which signals are satellites, and then just skip the satellite ones. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to install that right away on there. So let's lock the helmet before we suffocate and head on out. See, the emergency generator is running and is getting a little bit low, so we might need to do something about that later as well. Right, let's go and do this first. So to make this work, turn that off, wasting power. What we need is a small number of pieces. So we do need IC housing. Let's get, oh, we haven't got any steel in there, have we? However, we have got quite a bit of steel in here. So let's throw that in there. Let's get one of those building. And we'll put that into there. Okay, so once that's made, we're going to need a chip. And we're going to need a couple of switches. Spin that out and put it over here. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to install some buttons and another light, and we need to do them somewhere fairly near this console, so I shall probably put them, maybe I'll put them there. It's not brilliant because it just makes it a bit fiddlier to get up there, but I think that'll be okay. So bearing that in mind, we could put the IC in here. Will be okay. Oh, we haven't got much cable left, have we? We'll need to make some more of that. I will need to pull that floor grating up just to get it activated and set up properly. So let's get that chip. Right, we need two switches. We need one light. I think I only made one switch then, didn't I? Yes, I did. That was silly. Now we need more cable. Yes, I managed to make two lights and one switch instead of the other way around. Okay, right, so what we will do is we will go in here. So we're going to use this satellite dish signal classifier. This is available on the workshop. This works with the script we're using to drive the satellite dish, which I think last time I said I couldn't quite remember where that had come from. I have since double checked, and it is in fact the one that's on the Stationeers wiki. And given the complexity of it, I suggest if you're looking for a script you use that. I'll put a link into the previous video. Anyway, what this is going to do is this is going to connect to the dish and to two buttons, and also to an LED and to the diode that's controlling the scanning program on the dish at the moment. So we're effectively installing a co-processor here that's going to sit alongside the main control program for the dish, and what it's going to do is when it gets a signal from the dish, it is going to record. Well, the first thing it's going to do is actually see whether we've previously recorded, whether it's a junk signal or a trader signal. Once it locks on, we can press one of the two buttons to either mark it as junk or trader, and it will then mark it as one of those things. So next time it detects the signal, what it will do will be, if it's a junk signal, it will simply turn the diode off, which will cause the program controlling the dish to restart and search for the next signal. So it will, over time, we'll be able to mark all of the satellites as junk signals, and then the dish will just skip over them and ignore them completely once they're all marked. So that's the principle of what this does. In terms of how it does it, the signal IDs are used to basically shunt values into the stack, so we're using the stack as a random access memory. If the stack position has not been previously populated, it will have a 0 in, so when we actually mark a signal, we add 1 to it. So our trader signal effectively is 1 or 0. We then add 1 to that, so it becomes a 2 for a trader, 1 for a junk signal, and a 0 means we don't know. So when we then check it the next time, those are the possible values. We're going to use that to control the colour on the LED so that we can see what the signal is, and if the signal is a junk signal, which in this case means it will read a 1 off the stack, then it's going to then simply go to this process here that's going to turn the diode off, which will cause the tracking program to restart. Similarly, when we mark a signal, if we press the button to mark it as junk, it's going to mark it as junk by pushing it onto the stack in that position, and it's going to change the light color so that we can see that, and then it's going to also jump to the next signal, and then it's just going to keep repeating around that loop, waiting to see whether or not the signal is set. So that's what it does. Let's export that to the IC chip and turn that off. Drop this in here. Right, we will need that. We'll need. Have we got no space? No. Ah, of course. I forgot last time we were going to sell this food to this trader. Let's clear the inventory. Get in there. In. Whoops. Okay, not in. In. Right. Okay, that's better. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. Right, so let's get this set up. So we're going to need some buttons which we can stand here and we can press. So I think the only real logical place to put those buttons is probably going to be here. It's not really would have not have been my first choice, but we've got what we've got. So I think we'll put them here and here, and then we'll put an LED here. There we go. Right, and we've got an extra light. That's just actually, what am I doing? We could sell that. Get in there. Right, okay. I should be more capitalist about my waste rather than just throwing it around and thinking I'll use it again later. Right, right there. Connect that and that and that and that. Oh, and actually that would have worked there. Right, okay. Okay, let's get this set up. So I'll just let that do its error so we know what we're setting where. Right, so we're going to point this at the dish. Satellite dish. all the way through. So the dish, right, we're going to point this, I'm going to need to label that, aren't I? I'm certainly going to need to label those buttons, so we're going to call that LED, let's call it LED signal. We're going to call that button trader and that button junk. So let's connect that. Probably quicker to go the other way through the alphabet, although probably not by much. Really ought to put this onto its own subsystem. LED signal. Okay. So that's button junk. That's button trader. And then this is the diode. Okay, and that doesn't need connecting to anything. There we go. Right. Okay, that's not a good start, is it? So the way we've done this is to pick up the signal ID and subtracted 400 from it to load into the stack. However, on testing that worked absolutely fine. I've tested it on 3 different worlds, but it would appear, oh, we've run out of copper, of course we have, because I left it running until we ran out of copper. It would appear that that is not always foolproof, so we might just need to slightly adjust the numbers. Hoping we have some copper. No, we don't have any copper. That's absolutely brilliant. Okay, let's grab some copper out of another machine. Get some in there. Deal with it properly in a minute. Okay, let's pull this back. Actually, I'm going to put this in here. Okay, so we definitely need to go and mine some copper in a minute as well. Okay, in the meantime, what we'll do is we'll connect a reader to the dish so that we can actually more directly have a look and see what values are coming through for the signal ID. Unfortunately, the actual signal type is not programmatically accessible. The motherboard in the computer obviously does some magic because that data is never fed anywhere. However, let's oops, wrong way. All the way through. Every time I do this, it just reminds me how much I need to isolate this network. Satellite dish, and we're going to switch this to the signal ID. We're going to read that. So, okay, the signal ID is enormous. That's interesting. I've never seen a value that's big as that in the testing. They were in a much lower range. Okay, well let's see whether or not that's going to be a problem with all of the signals as it locks onto some others. It does look like it is. It's entirely possible that actually the signal IDs have been recoded since we wrote the code, which would be a shame because this was quite nice the way it was working, but I think, yeah, looking at these, they're all very large numbers. We could probably hack it by subtracting 44,000, but I don't know whether it's world specific. Not sure quite what's happening now. It appears to have stopped functioning completely. Okay, well what I'm going to do is we're going to start with this. You just can't run a stack that big on these chips. It would be unfortunate if it's been substantially modified, because that was a very neat way of doing it, but let's try this. So we change that there, let's export that. Okay, so that should work. But I'm going to have to try and work out what on earth is going on with the main tracking, because it seems to have shut down. I can't remember where I put the IC circuit for it now. There it is. Let's restart it. Right, there we go, it's doing something now. Okay, it does seem... Right, okay, so it does seem to be working. So this is a trader. So if I press trader, you'll see that lights up and goes green. So it now knows that's a trader. If I turn that off and let it go track again, see what it locks onto. That's also a trader, so we can press trader and it goes green. It goes through two tones there, one when it's being programmed and then the second one once it reads the value. You can actually also see the value if you look at the state of this here. It's on a state 2, which means it's a trader. State 1 means it's a junk signal, and state 0 means unknown. Alright, so this one's now gone on to a junk, an infosat signal, so we just press junk. Now you can see that programs that to red. Not only does it program it to red, you see it's now immediately started hunting down the next signal, because it knows we don't care about that. There we go, so that's another trader. So I think, looking at this, it's possible that the way signal IDs are allocated has been modified, but I think probably what happens is for a given world there's a base number, a base value, and the numbers within that. Okay, so that one's a trader, and that has set. Let's let it go do the next one. So the implication of that is that what you'll need to do is try and figure out what that base number is, and just modify that line of code where previously I was subtracting 400. You might need to subtract, in this instance, 44,000. You're trying to get numbers in the range of 1 to no higher than 512, certainly. I'm not actually sure how big the stack size is. I need to probably check that out. It might be 256, but actually that can't be the case because this would be 313. Anyway, right, so infosat, so that's a junk signal, mark it as junk, and off it goes to find the next one. Another junk signal. Gas trade. It's best to let it settle and finish searching in case it's not quite locked onto the one you think it is. Right, that may have broken. It has. Stack underflow, so that signal ID is actually 43,000. Okay, so this is actually more of a problem. So we can try modifying that code, but I think it is going to be an issue. We might have to come up with a better way to store those values. That's a shame, but that's the nature of games that are in early access and subject to current development. Is what works one time may not work forever, or indeed the next time. Let's see how we get on. Let's see if we can reprogram that. It'd be nice if it would work. I'd like to be able to show you the principle, but it would also just be nice if it was a very neat solution, because actually storing values in memory is quite a challenge in Stationeers. So being able to store that, so this should store in position 25. That was quite a neat solution to do that, but we'll have to see. Yeah, that will now be a Stack Overflow. Yeah, so we're going to have to come up with an alternative means to store that information, because this chip's just not going to work, unfortunately. Well, it was a nice idea. I guess, as I say, we find these things happen. It may be that this code does work on your world. I don't know how the signal IDs are generated. I'll leave it on the workshop, and you're very welcome to try it. It may work on some worlds and not others. Longer term, offline from this, I will do some research and see if I can come up with an alternative strategy for storing that information. I've got a few ideas that I'd like to try out, but I'm not going to try and do it on a video because it really won't be that compelling to watch. So anyway, with that in mind, what we were going to do was to sell some stuff to the trader. So let's sell some of this food. And in fact, we can make quite a bit of money out of selling that. That's good. Look at that. Except more money than he has got. Damn. Okay, well, we can clean him out anyway. That's always good. And then send him on his way. Right, thank you and goodbye. Okay, so I guess in the meantime we do this manually. Don't think we need the paints, although I'm going to see what else he's got, and actually also there's an opportunity just to sell the rest of that stuff and make some cash. Here he comes. Okay, he literally has only got... Did we not sell that? Apparently not. Anyway, he's got loads of money. Let's sell it all. How's that looking? Right, that's good. And you can take those lights as well. Good. Okay. So now we've got 2,700 in there. That's good to know. Let's see if we can find a trader that will sell us something we want. In the meantime, thank you very much and goodbye. I'm not sure what that's attempting to lock onto now. Okay, I'm not quite sure what happened there. For some reason the tracking code just stopped and we have not touched that, so yeah, sadly those are not going to work unless I pull up that panel and restart the chip. So that will definitely need a different way to program that, but the principle's good. I'll persevere with that, and hopefully I'll bring you good news on a future video, because when it works it does save a lot of time skipping over all these junk signals. You just mark them once. What have we looked onto? Chem lab. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. Let's see what he's got. We still don't seem to have solved these. I think this might be a bug. It seems quite strange. Fairly certain that I did sell them. I may watch the video back and see that I didn't, but I'm fairly sure that I did sell them. Tropical lily. Looks interesting, doesn't it? It says it will tolerate hotter temperatures. It doesn't say. I assume it'll be fine in normal temperatures. Let's get one anyway. Oh, so now we're in a. How many's he got? 10. Let's buy 4 of them. Oh, actually, they're only 2. Let's buy the whole lot. Amazing. Confirm. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. That's still in there. Confirm. Okay, now he seems to have bought them all. Right, okay. Slightly strange. Anyway, never mind. Thank you very much, and you can go. In the meantime, we've got some tropical lilies that we can go and have some fun planting. Right, so I said we'd expand the hab. We're going to do that, hopefully without any more breaches, but we'll see. So we're going to dig out down there. We're going to need some more frames to do that. Actually, before we do anything else, first of all, there's a storm coming because that's gone yellow, and secondly, we're out of copper. I feel that being out of copper is probably not a problem to try and solve when there's a storm coming. Question is, have we got enough materials to do anything useful inside? Because I'm going to need to. What am I doing? I've gone crazy. Right, let's see if we can make some more steel frames before the storm gets here. Difficult to know how long we've got without any data ports or anything on here. At least I noticed it. What I have just remembered is that we need to urgently, nope, flying around is not helpful, in a confined space, duct tape up this, because actually we're not in a great state. We didn't do it after the last one, I don't think. No, we didn't. Let's try and get this done before the storm arrives. Oh, looking at how much tape that's used, I think we're going to need more tape. Yes, we're definitely going to need more tape. Let's do this, at least 2 more, I might make 3 I think. Right, and then I need to turn this off because otherwise we're going to be in the wrong place. Come on, race against time now. Okay, hopefully, 76%. These ones at least would probably survive the storm if we don't get it finished, or maybe. A bit more damage than I thought. That one's still only at 82, all the rest are at 100. Right, I think I'm going to get in because I don't know how long I've got until the storm starts, but potentially it's not hugely long. So I'm going to switch that over. Turn that off. Make sure that's turned off. Okay. Right, let's just get inside. Right. Okay, well, let's go and finish some work down here, I guess. So let's start by connecting these up. That was a bit silly how I set that up, wasn't it? Let's put that in there. Alright, those are now connected. It's a little bit unfortunate the way that comes through there, but we can't bring it through behind, so that's just how it is. Right, okay, well, should we try planting some of these, I suppose? It's quite hot in here, so plant all of them because I don't really know what their growing conditions are, but I've got a few in there. Okay, let's drop down here. Don't think we've got any more steel sheets in here. No, we haven't. Okay, so we won't be finishing this. I sort of hoped we would, but we need to go out and print some more steel sheets, which I'm not going to do when there's a storm due any minute. It's definitely tempting fate. Right, what I can do is try and understand whether this is still fully underneath. Of course it will be fully underneath anyway. Okay, let's put those in there. Right, so that's 1, 2, and 2. Alright, we've just gone into the third one, so let's go up here and just 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that should be fine. As long as, so that should be sealed with those 2 blocks there, and that floor is solid, so that should be okay. As long as we don't go wider than that and that. Okay, so that's as far as we can go safely. I need to try and be extra careful in here not to dig too far when we've got no steel sheets to seal this if I make a hole. On the other hand, I don't want to just completely waste the time while there's a storm outside and do nothing. It feels a bit silly to do that. Okay, so this is a reasonable sized space down here now. But there aren't any interior walls, so I'm just trying to work out the best way to lay this out. Perhaps we'll go that far for now and stop. Okay. Yeah, that'll be quite a big space once that's all excavated, so I think that will be fine. Don't think we need that down here. Right. So that storm still hasn't arrived. You get quite a long warning, clearly. I think I saw it just as it had switched across as well. But yeah, we've still got a storm warning rather than an actual storm out there. Right, walls. What have we got down here? Not enough to make very much, to be honest. 3 glass sheets, 17 walls, 2 plastic sheets. So we could make 2 glazed windows, basically, is about all we're going to be able to do. Right, that I can see through there is a solidly welded panel, which is good news, as is that. But the next one back is not, so we must not go too far. Okay, let's throw these in here. We're hardly in danger of running out of food, but here comes the storm, I think. Yep. Some slightly strange visual effects going on there. It appears to be coming through the roof, but never mind. We are safe and secure in here. I think we might put a soybean in there actually. There we go. Well, looks like a vicious one out there, I'll say that. But there's definitely something slightly odd going on here. Okay, I'm going to keep that last fern back actually, because the one that was in here died. Store it in there because they're rather small. Right. Oh look, we've got pumpkins building up over there. Oh no, actually we have got some ferns there. But they won't last too long unless I plant them, so let's just see how it is in there. Can I get down this gap? No, I cannot. No, I really can't. Okay, I am stuck. So I'm not sure how we're going to ever get that rice out from down there. We're probably not, is the answer. No. Okay. I think just like that one, which we can. Oh no, actually we can pick up. So let's get the angle right. Probably shouldn't be flying around inside, but there we go. So you can't really see very well, but just occasionally through the storm you can see the light on the weather station is red because there's a storm going on right now. There we go, you can just about make it out in the distance there when the clouds are less strong. So that's how that works. I mean, if you hadn't noticed there was a storm going on, you've got a problem. But obviously you can put the weather station inside your base somewhere. It's quite a long storm, this one. I'm very glad that I patched up those solar panels. I know, we're getting close to the potatoes decaying. Let's hope we can cook them in time. I think we need some more oil though, won't we, to do that? It's good to have a few little jobs like this to do inside though while there's a storm, because it's very frustrating otherwise if you've got nothing else that needs your attention. Luckily we know that the food production always needs attention because we're growing it so quickly. Ah, soybean seeds, that's what I was after. These ones are not growing yet because they have unfavourable lighting. And of course now it's night time, so it's not going to get any better, but nonetheless it's still useful to have some seeds. Let's throw them in there. And I don't think we've got any here that we... Oh no, we have. There we go, we can stack that like that. Right, okay, there we go. So how are we getting on in here? Again, those have unfavourable lighting. Okay, I might put together another grow light actually for in that atrium. I think that would be better. And in the morning I think we'll go copper mining, but it's nearly light, we won't do it quite yet. Have we got enough materials? Yes we have. Right, let's get one of them making. Actually we also want some steel sheets, so let's do that. Steel sheets, there we go, off you go. Okay, let's drop that inside. You need quite a lot to weld that up. Probably need some walls as well. Maybe I shouldn't have sold those walls a couple of last episode, whenever that was, but never mind. Oh, I've got Logic IO in there. I didn't know that was here. That's useful to know. Could have used that instead of making one earlier on. Never mind. No, right, okay. While we're over here, what's this doing? I'm going to top up our oxygen and empty the waste. Plug that back in before we suffocate. I've also been jetpacking around quite a lot, so let's throw that in there. There we go, right. Okay, I'm going to put away some of this excess stuff before we go mining. It's always a good idea. Maximum inventory space. those in there. I don't think they'll decay. No, look okay. Right, close those. Turn that off. Right, how many sheets have we got? 28. Okay, well, that's good because last time I'll be 29 now because I was too slow, but last time we had 14 frames, so that should be the right number. Oh, go on, go in. Thank you. Right, okay, let's go mining then. I'm going to look into what I need to make a better mining drill as well because this one is a little bit slow. So let's have a quick look at that. We're not going to do it now, I'm sure, because I don't expect we've got any of what we need. I think I might even need to upgrade this before I can do it. Mining drill, yeah, I was hoping we were able to make, there's a mining drill Mark II and there's also a heavy mining drill, and I had a feeling you could make the heavy but not the Mark II, but apparently you can't even do that. Okay, that's fine, we'll do the upgrade at some point. The risk of getting distracted further. Whoops. What do we need to make a tool printer mod? Oh, we could do that. But we will be very short of electrum. So, right. Okay, let's go get some mining done. I'm going to go off this way. I don't think we've been this way for a little while. Let's go and have an explore. We did find some silver over here as well, so I have a good feeling about this direction. Priority must be copper, which I can see lots of here, so that's good, nice and easy. And we should probably also pick up some coal if we can. If we see any silver, obviously I'm going to get it because silver. But let's just get some copper into our belt first. Actually, there's some coal right there, so that's useful. Okay, let's in there, in there, in there. I think that's all, yep. Okay, let's get these back and then we'll come out for another go. At least with the satellite dish up high like that, the base is now quite easy to spot from the distance, and actually as you fly in like this you realise we've actually got quite a decent sized base now. Oh, look at that, perfect. Let's drop that in there. Okay, good, and then we'll throw this into here. At least we know that we've got, oh yeah, in fact we'd run out, so that was lucky. I had that start as soon as we did it, so it must have been low enough to need it, but we'd run out of power. State of the mine. Okay, that's fine. I did that last time, didn't I? Right. Okay. Let's go see what else we can find. It was a good little haul, but I think actually we just need to knuckle down and do a bit of mining for a little while. Okay, so grab a little bit more copper, and then I think we've probably got enough to keep us going for a bit. Undoubtedly need iron again soon, but I'm going to grab that gold while it's here. Not sure when we last did any gold mining, but we know we're going to need to make some electrum, we're going to need gold. It's used in quite a lot of the higher tech bits of equipment, so we may as well just grab a load of it. Plus it's also super slow to smelt, so both slow and power intensive. Whoops. Come back, I'm going down the hole. Right, okay. Bit of lead is interesting, but I think I might make a second mining belt so that I can stack more. However, let's just, while we're over this way, let's see whether we can see anything else exciting. Before the sun goes down quite soon. Some stuff glinting over there, that always catches my eye. It might be silver, but I think it's all gold. That one certainly is. Pretty sure all of that one is. Yep. What's this here? More gold. Much as I like gold, it's not what we really need. Okay, well, there's certainly a lot of ore out here and it's a nice flat area. I actually think there might be a case of building a rover and driving out here. I think it might be a more efficient way to mine. So I won't cause too many giant holes because I might come to regret that later. Let's just see whether there's anything else interesting before the sun gets too much lower. I'm really looking for silver, but if I don't find anything else, I'll grab some iron on the way home. Okay, probably shouldn't go too much further, to be honest. Where's the base? It's getting a little bit far away. The sun's getting a little bit low, and the power is low. So I think that is probably our cue to turn home. Let's just grab that. Okay, that's all of it. That's all we can carry anyway, so that's fine. We will fly back. Perhaps we'll build a garage, and because we'll need it for keep the rover safe from the storms, and a rover, and drive out this way. But we probably need more raw materials. My slight worry is we suspect probably we're going to need more silver because we're probably going to need electrum. Can't remember what we need for a rover. I think that's steel and silicon, actually, I have a feeling, because I think it needs plastic sheets. However, we will need to build some sort of secure containment, so we'll need to build some hangar doors. Anyway, let's worry about that when we get back. That's some silicon down there. If we can upgrade the tool printer, we can actually make sensor goggles, although I don't expect we can make the advanced alloys we need for those yet, which could be kind of interesting. what's going on with lights here anyway, so at least it's easy to find our way home. Right, there we go. Let's throw those in there. Some gold, some more copper, because copper, some more gold. That one. Of course I haven't figured out all of the stackers, have I? I've just remembered that. Is that going to go in? No, it's not. It can sit on top until something's finished. I need to go and do that as well. Right, let's throw that in there, that in there, that in there, that in there. Right, okay. That's at least fully loaded. I realise we might need some back, but okay, so that's a little job we could do around base now. Would be just to finish off rerouting these stackers. So we needed quite a lot of chutes. So instead of the 2 we had there, we only need to do it for silicon and 4. So we have got 1 silver actually, that's good to know. Right, okay, so we need to do this twice. So we're replacing the 2 we've got with 1, 2, so you could kind of ignore those, they'll net off. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Times 2 is 12, so we need 12 chutes. Right, we've got enough for 3 in there. Okay. Let's turn that off. So I'm not really sure what we're going to call this episode. It doesn't feel like we've done a big project on this one today, but sometimes you just have to get on doing things. Let's try and figure this one out. So I need that to go up and then that way, and then, oh yes, I remember this was a fun setup in the end, wasn't it? Right, okay, that's that one. Okay, that's at least the chutes set up. Now I think I've got 1 stacker, but I'll actually need a second one. Let's just double check before I make any more. I'm very good at making things I don't need. Yeah, no, I actually do need 1 more. I'll finish off that silly little 4 stack of cable there though. Right, okay, let's fit this one first, because actually it's possible we've got some silicon through. Okay, so we fit that there, and then we So this goes down one, it goes that way, then it goes that way, then it goes down again, then it goes that way, and finally it goes in there. Okay, that's that one. Right, we'll need one more stacker then. Let's get that done. Oh, of course we haven't got any copper. At least we can just order the ingots when we need them. That's always helpful. So we'll put that in there, do that. Get in there, thank you. Oops, completely out of control with the jetpack now. Okay, there we go, that's all the stackers in place. Right, so we have now finally completely finished the ingot sorter. So we should, once we've used the current stock that's in there, always get a 50 stack when we press the button, which is obviously good news. How's this mining coming along? Well, it's getting there, isn't it? Okay. Actually, let's go ahead and make the tool mod. So we get. No, let's not do that in case we need the rover. What do we need to make a rover? Okay, so we'll need more copper, but other than that we can do that. So let's put that in there. Right, okay. What we will need is to be able to build a big hangar door to actually access that, which... No, I'm actually going to have to look up what we need to build that from. I think we need to apply the mod to the printer. Hangar door. Yeah, okay. You want to give me a clue where I make the kit hangar door? Apparently not. Okay. Right, not in there though anyway. So I think we do need to apply... Oh, we've got power problems because this is cutting out. Yep. Okay, this is because we're now drawing too much power here. Okay, that now is actually a higher priority problem. That we need to isolate these furnaces from everything else downstream, or at least the printers, because it's just going to keep doing that. However, right, not in there. Pretty sure not in here. Wouldn't make a lot of sense, but you never know. No, okay, so it's definitely going to need a mod. Just need to work out which one. Right, let's get a transformer. If we can get a transformer made. Okay, and then we're going to, it's unfortunately going to involve ripping up a lot of flooring, but we're going to try to isolate some of these systems a bit. Which I will open that one because I'm not sure quite where that goes. We need to figure out where is the power going to get to them. Right, okay, it's a bit of wiring spaghetti in there, isn't it? To say the least. I'm not even sure what's going on here, whether that's just the end. I know that goes that way, doesn't it? And then it goes off over here. Okay, right. Whoops, dropped the wrong one. Okay, so what we need to do is to break up some of these power networks a bit. So the machines and the pad and the dish could all go onto one power network over here. And the ingot sorter actually could go on to another. It needs to be all on the same one, otherwise we'll have a bit of a mess, but we could do that. I think that's the first priority, is to figure out a way to do that, or otherwise to separate these two furnaces from the rest of the power grid. So that's power in there. Well, this whole piece here that needs to be separated. Okay, so there is a way we could do this probably a little bit more neatly, which is to create a power grid for just this piece. I'm just going to figure out the routing for these wires because it's going to get messy. Somehow we have to also power these and the hab. This is always fun. So let's see if we can figure this out. If we put a transformer in here, we could use that to power the hab. So we can actually split this. We'll do that as a start. So I think we're actually going to have a couple of different transformers here. I think we'll have one here. We'll put one next to it there. We're going to obviously need to grab some more. Whoops, something just burnt out somewhere. That's never a sound you want to hear. We're going to need at least one more, but I'm going to actually print two more. Yeah, I heard it go, but I have no idea where it is, so that could be a bit of fun to try and diagnose later on. Oh, it was there, right, okay. So that indicates we really have got a problem now. Right, so start rerouting some of this. Actually, before I do that, let's okay, so we've got 6 cable there. Let's see if we can get some of these connected. Okay, we can get all of those connected. That's even better. Right, so what we're going to do is I am going to connect. First of all, I'm going to cut that there, and that there, and that there, and that there, and that is going to connect into there. So this is now all off. That's now running on this network. Okay, so that's all running fine. It's probably not the best place to put this, but it's not the worst. Right, I'm now going to connect the hab to this. Yes. Let's think about this. Yeah, I'm going to connect the hab to. No, I'm not. I'm going to connect it to that one I've just installed. And the reason that I'm going to do that is because I want to keep one specifically just for those furnaces, because they are drawing a lot of power. Yeah, I know power is critical, but not in the way you think. Right. Okay, that's the one we're going to connect to the hab, so let's snip that. Whoops. Okay, and that should be the hab powered back up. Yeah, I can see power in there, that's good. Okay. Right, let's fix that. Okay, so then we're going to use this one to go drive those furnaces, and we're going to use this one to drive all of this down this way. It's probably too much really for one, but at the moment it's running on none, so I'll take that as an improvement. So we can start by snipping that there, and I'm going to connect, whoops, that way. Okay, so that's the ingot sorter and all of these machines. And then I think what I'm going to do is to reroute the power to these, so it connects up. Connect it there, that's the shortest route. I need to be careful we don't create any loops between power networks here, or it will become a real problem, but I think later on I might separate that further, but for now let's make sure we've got a nice clear space there. I mean, actually all of that wiring is now redundant, but that's fine. I just make sure I don't accidentally connect the wrong thing. Okay, so now that one is for the furnaces. This one we should be able to turn on and power up. Turn it up all the way. You can do this with the labeler as well, of course, but it's something kind of satisfying about feeling like you're turning the dial up. Right, so power's back on over here. Yep, that's good. Okay, it's always good to check these things at each stage. Right, that burnt wire is gone, so let's replace that. Yeah, okay, so actually I'll turn that on and then we'll just be able to double check once we get this connected. Actually, it should just be a question of turn it on actually. There we go. Right, and of course the furnaces will need to restart. Which I'm not sure I can do that one easily enough, but the other one's a bit more of a problem, honestly. I've got a little cheat I can do. If I turn that off and change this here from import count to activate, should trigger a 0. That's good. There is a new logic variable on these which is idle, so in theory we can use that potentially instead, but actually the import count still works well because it changes every time something goes in. Right, okay, so they're running again. What I didn't want to have to do is dismantle the chute here in order to get to the button and press it. That would have been a real pain. Okay, so that wasn't as bad as I feared, so at least we've started to split up the power network. take that piece of cable out whilst the floors are up. Which ones have I missed? I know there's one over here. Oh, there's two over there, that's why. Right, okay, that's fine. Right, and then what we'll do is we'll just okay, there we go. Power system is now improved. Now, so that I don't forget what's what, which I've already slightly forgotten, that's the furnace, that's the hab, that's the sorter and machinery. So let's label that. Let's call that machinery since it's a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, right, so right, that's oh, there's a very small amount of water in there. Might need to have a look at this logic actually, because when there's very small amounts of water in there, it just runs the heater for no good reason. Although it should still heat up. I'm not quite sure why it hasn't heated up above 270 Kelvin, but there we go. Oh, it is heating slowly. Okay, well, perhaps it'll sort itself out. Right, well, we did achieve something useful on this this episode. After all, we've rerouted the power system so that now we can avoid burnouts. So we at least split that up. There's probably more to do. It's one of those jobs that as you expand the base, you just have to keep revisiting. But at least that is separated. I may well find in the next hour or two of playthrough that there's some random burnt cable somewhere that we haven't found. That will be unfortunate, but I can well believe it might happen. However, the fact that we've now got 3 transformers running does tell us we are using a lot of power there, so we're probably going to have to do something better than the whatever we've got there, 10 or 12 solars. It's obviously not a great idea to be running on that the whole time. Anyway, I think that's an hour and a quarter, so we should probably wrap up there. Just check the status of things, make sure nothing else critical is looking dodgy. Looks okay. This is stalled again. I'm not sure why that happened. It should be fine on its own power network, unless the draw from smelting 2 batches of gold at the same time is more than 5 kilowatts, which it really shouldn't be. There's nothing else on that circuit except for this computer, and that's turned off. And the chips, and they shouldn't be using very much. Let's just well, hopefully that will be okay. We'll find out, won't we? Right, for now let's just double check these sorters are still on here. Yes, they are, although of course this has now isolated this computer from the sorters inside the hab, so if we need to reprogram them, we'll have to bring another computer in. And one of the things we'll now need to start thinking about doing is to actually run a separate data network to start to bring the information between all of these networks into somewhere we can use in a control room inside, but that's definitely for a future episode. If I was really tidy, each of these power networks would have been recolor coded. That looks like a very long job, so we're not going to do that right now. But I think that will do us for now. I'm going to come inside. I'm going to top up my food and water as I always do, and just sort out the crops very quickly so that they're in a good state for next time. Good news is we've now got a got more soybeans than we had. Okay, that's good. So there's some more we can put in there for oil. So see, that's useful in the cooker. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Very strange. Maybe this is one of the places that we've lost a cable. Has something burnt through? Yes, it must have done. This is going to be fun to find, isn't it? Oh, there it is actually. It could have been a lot worse. Right, so this is the problem. Once you start getting cable overloads, they burn through, and it could be literally any cable. And of course, typically... there we go, everything's back alive again. Should have noticed that the Harveys were too quiet. Right. Fingers crossed that's now working. There we go. Right. Let's hope we don't find any more because some critical system somewhere isn't functioning. Right, okay. Yes, of course, when I looked inside to check the power was back on, I could just see these machines, and they were this side of the issue. Anyway, there we go. Right, no more space in there, is there? So that's no better than it was. Lots of tomatoes. Right, get in there. Right, so we've cooked some more tomatoes. In fact, we've actually got quite a lot more food we could make in there. I probably ought to make what I can, otherwise it may go off actually in there. Although I think most likely I'm going to just run out. Oh, I shall install those grow lights. Most likely I'm just going to run out of cans actually. Right, those are all growing, those are all planted. Okay, so let's grab some water. And some food. And then actually we've got to close and lock the helmet again because I don't know what the pressure's like in the extension. But we're going in there in a minute. Before we do, let's make one of them. And I think we'll use our last two to make pumpkin soup. Although we've got quite a lot of cooked tomato in there, so next time we need to make some more cans. Yep, we're out of cans. Okay, right. Anyway, let's quickly get this up and running. I said we would. This is also the point to figure out where we're going to connect the power. In there looks good. We've got some around here as well, haven't we? Okay, let's start by trying to work out where we can actually fit this, because we can't line it up where the other grow lights are, unfortunately. Oh, we could put one there though. That could be quite cool. Let's do it. Right. Let's figure out how to get into the right angle. does not appear to be on. I think it needs to go. There we go. That should connect, surely. Ah, we've got another burnt out cable there. I'm wondering if we've got a burnt out cable somewhere else as well. Can I access that from this side? No, I can't. Okay, so I need to get in and fix that. That's a definite problem. Okay. Right, so we really did burn out actually quite a lot of cables in the end. I don't think we'd have seen that had I not been... in theory it's visible, but it's... Oh, that's really in a tricky place to get at, isn't it? It's between the two glass windows, so I'm going to have to actually remove the glass on this side. Then cut the wire. Then fix the wire. Okay, that one's on. I still don't quite know what's going on here. To me that should be connected. Unless there's a problem there. Okay, well I think we're going to have to now... This is going to get really messy. Deconstruct the iron window. We still can't see a problem. So let's remove the actual frame of the iron window. Right, that is connected. Okay, that's actually slightly weird. Okay, so that's quite visibly on. The one on this side did not appear to be. Oh no, it is now, you can see it. Can you? No, maybe not. No, I do not understand why that is not turning on when this one is. There must be another burnt wire somewhere, I think. You can't actually see it through here. The cable comes in through there. No, that's really strange. It really should be on. Okay, let's open it up from this side. Okay, that's certainly connected where that's connected. That one I think is on. Okay, I have to confess at this point I'm really confused what's going on. No, that really should be working. But it's not doing anything. Okay, well, I think there's obviously a problem with it. I'm going to deconstruct it. shouldn't be exceeding the maximum power output in here, so that shouldn't be a problem. However, I'm going to try and put it up here, if I can find somewhere to place it. Of course, I now need to refit those. Get the angle right. There we go. 1, 2. Three. We could fix it somewhere like that. I'm just not sure. I think I really want it here. Doesn't look the best, to be honest, but it's probably as good as we're going to manage. Okay. So there's a couple of ways we could do this. I could actually connect that through there on the other side. Let's do that. Right. Okay. May have just got itself bugged with the way it was started off, but it does seem. Oops, I don't know why I put that away. I'm about to need it. Quick tidy up. Right, okay, we are going to get this to work finally, I hope. Otherwise I'm very confused. Yes, okay, goes good. Almost certainly won't work far enough away, but for now we can harvest these ferns and replant them. Try some in here, see what happens. That's a fern, that's a fern. Let's put a lily in there. Just as much as anything now, trying to experiment to see how far away from there we can make that work. I mean, obviously they get daylight in here, so it's not the end of the world, but it's kind of nice to get them growing a bit faster. Right, okay. So I think we'll call that a day. That's an hour and a half. So we survived a storm, did a bit of expansion, failed to deal with the satellite signals on the dish. Mined some copper and sorted out the power networks. So not one big project on this video, but lots of small improvements. And perhaps that's what we should call it, lots of small improvements. Anyway, I hope I will see you on the next video and that you enjoyed that.